Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm doing a lesson on pinch harmonics for you all. Some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, as they can be a little bit of a nightmare to pop out when you first start doing them. So let's get into it. The first thing that I've noticed when people have said, "Oh, I just can't get them to, like I said, pop out," is you've not got enough gain on your amp. I'm using Bias FX right now. This is kind of like my main tone that I use for a lot of my covers, and it's saturated to the right point, I want to say, of distortion. There's a balance to be struck, right? You don't want it too much, otherwise it's just going to sound like a swarm of bees. You don't want too little, otherwise it's just going to sound thin. And those pinch harmonics, they're just not going to pop out. So the first thing I'd say to you is put some time into getting your distortion tone right. When I first set up for this, the first thing I do in covers and lessons and that sort of stuff, the first thing I did is when I bought Bias FX or whatever it is you want to use, I put some time into just making sure that I had the tones that I'd need to put everything across to you guys, or the tones that would sit well in mixes for covers and stuff like that. So now I just don't have to think about it. I know I can just plug in, pick the one for which guitar I use, and it works. So that's the first thing I'd say before we do any sort of practical. Secondly, the next one that I want to talk about is the harmonics that sit by the pickups here. There's actually sweet spots on each guitar. It might be different for each one of your guitars. There's sweet spots where they pop out more, and it's the natural harmonics that sit here. Let me show you what I mean. And it works for each string. Check it out. Where the harmonic is richest, that's where you want to be picking. And I'm not even fretting there, and I'm getting with the technique that I'll talk about in a minute, I'm already getting a rich harmonic out there. If I go all the way to the back, it's not working as well. If I come all the way to sort of this middle area, it works perfectly. This is a little bit like it's going to be muscle memory. It's actually a feel thing that comes over time, I guess, and just knowing your guitars. Each guitar is going to be different, okay? Personally, I find around sort of like the middle section here, coming forward to around the front pickup, that's where mine tend to pop out most on all my guitars. So it'll probably be similar for you guys. If I just go along one string, you'll hear the difference. And it's right there. You just have to kind of memorize it and use your muscle memory, and it comes over time. Eventually, you'll just be popping them out and not even thinking about it. It's a bit like when you first started playing guitar and you're thinking about where your picking hand's going and everything, and now it just becomes second nature to you. So yeah, so that's the second one. Find out where the natural harmonics are along your strings and sort of muscle memory where they are and where you can pick to get them to pop out. So the third thing I want to cover is the technique itself. What's going on? I had a friend who years ago, I had a riff or whatever it was, and in it was a squeal, and he was like, "How are you doing that?" And he was trying on his guitar, and he was shaking the hell out of it. And he thought that it was all in the left hand, because I guess when you watch guitar players live and stuff, all you see happen is just intense shaking, right? So the technique itself is I'm hitting the string with my thumb, almost like a pinch, right? Directly after my picks hit the string, okay? And that is it. Honestly, there's no other secret science to it. It's just literally a matter of pinching the string. And when you first do it, do a combination of this and the last thing that I said. If it doesn't pop out straight away, but you feel you're doing the technique correctly, and the harmonic is a little bit weak, keep moving along the string until you get it. See what I'm saying? So I've moved all the way along the string, and I'm finding out where it's richest. So yeah, literally. So again, just to reiterate, as soon as I'm hitting that string, my thumb is just touching the string straight after. And you've got to be quick with it, because if you keep your thumb hanging around for too long, what's going to end up happening is you're just gonna kill the note. It's a very... So just practice. Yeah, don't hang around. Get your hand way away from it as soon as you've pinched it. And yeah, it is literally like a pinch. Another thing that you can do that you've probably already noticed is to really get them to shine is give the string a good shake. Or even give it a bend. That's another factor which is important. If you don't give it enough shake, it's just going to sound like a high note, I guess. Like, if you give it a shake, it really makes it pop. Just go watch Billy Gibbons, Zakk Wylde, all the guys. You'll see. So the fourth point that I want to make is find out what frets work best. There's certain go-to frets that work really well for pinch harmonics. The third string is just great. I find third fret on the third string absolutely works great. A lot of people will use that in like studio recordings and live stuff when they ad-lib and just throw stuff in. Good places to try where you're going to get really clean ones out is sort of second, third, fifth, and seventh on the third string right there. And then for low stuff in riffs, definitely the third fret, sixth string. Just play around with what you're comfortable with on your guitar and what sounds good at the end of the day. You know, fifth fret, fifth string works absolutely perfect. I guess you could get them to work absolutely anywhere on your guitar, but when you're practicing, find a fret that works absolutely perfect and the harmonics are really sort of like popping at this end here, and just keep practicing it. And just do a combination of those things that I said. Just move along the string until you find where it's coming out the richest. Make sure you're getting that pinch going on. Get your hand away from it as soon as it's out. Don't leave your thumb hanging around, you'll kill the note. And yeah, find a fret that works nice. So the fifth thing that I'd like to talk about is why things don't sound the same as studio tracks. And there's a reason for that. During the recording, what they'll do with something like that, which isn't easy to always get first time unless you're Zakk, you know. What a lot of people will do in sort of modern metal, I guess, is they'll do a recording of a guitar squeal. They'll take that piece, record that, and have a whole bunch of them. And then they'll take them and drop them in the DAW, Cubase, Logic, Pro Tools, whatever it is. And they'll drop it in on the riff. A lot of the time, some guys, they get it absolutely perfect every single time. But for, it's called an overdub, right? So to make sure it's absolutely perfect, if you're playing a really fast riff and you're going for that pinch and it just doesn't quite come out, what they'll do is they'll just take an isolated pinch harmonic pre-recorded and drop it in. Another thing as well, why they sound so huge on studio tracks is they're double tracked. So you've got a guitar pan hard right and a guitar pan hard left and maybe some in between depending, you know, but generally rule of thumb for this genre of music, it's hard right, hard left, right? And what they'll do is they'll put a pinch harmonic on either side. So both guitars are doing it, and that's why it sounds so wide and huge. And also what they'll do at the same time as that is they'll use two frets at the same time sometimes. They get two frets that don't clash, so it sounds completely atonal, so it's not like a dissonance that comes out of nowhere. But they'll use two frets at the same time. If you go listen to Children of Bodom, for instance, a lot of their songs are absolutely riddled with like pinch harmonics just thrown in as ad-libs here and there. And why it sounds so cool, I guess, is because there's sometimes two frets going on and it just sounds absolutely massive. Another thing, and the last thing I want to talk about here, is as good as it is to sit practicing them and going along and getting the the squeals out and stuff. Once you're comfortable with it and you've got the muscle memory going, throw it in with some riffs, because the idea here is to be able to play a song and go da 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 wah, and just get it in. Like I don't know, like take a Scream Aim Fire, Bullet My Valentine, the breakdown Pantera sort of section where like there's this big harmonic that comes in. Pick a simple riff like that. It's only opens. I mean, I'm in drop C now. That's that song's in D standard, but it's just practice throwing it in and start with slower riffs. Bands like Black Label Society, there's some really slow, groovy riffs and stuff like that, which have got the pinch harmonics thrown in. Absolutely perfect. And yeah, or maybe even just come up with your own. I don't know, man. Just come up with stuff and just throw them in. Throw them in to the point where you get super, super comfortable with them. And yeah, so there's the 6 things. Gain, lots of it, but not too much. Otherwise, you're just going to sound too saturated. Find the natural harmonics along here. Find where they are. Keep going along the string with the pinchy technique. Keep going along until you find where it's richest. The technique, make sure you're doing the technique itself. Maybe that one should have come first. I don't know. But yeah, make sure that you are going real shallow with the pick. And it's a feel thing. You'll get it. I promise. Just keep going with it and be slow. 4th thing, find the frets that work best for you. You'll see that I keep going to the 3rd fret, 3rd string. They're just absolutely pop out massively there for me on my guitar. Find what works best for you. Find what strings you like doing them on. I prefer doing the high ones like that. You can use it with a bend and make it sound absolutely massive. You can use any string. I mean, they sound a bit thin, I guess, on the first 2 strings, but coming down from there, you're absolutely good to go. Lastly, the 5th thing, be patient with yourself. It's never going to sound perfectly like the studio track, because chances are there's a couple of them going on that's just making it pop out, just like with anything with recording. Like, it's in heavy metal music, it's rarely ever just one guitar. It's always 2 guitars double tracked together to get that really wide sound. And then the 6th thing, play around with them. Stick them in riffs. Get used to the idea of playing a riff and then just going straight into it. Like Scream Aim Fire is a perfect one. That breakdown section, because it's not too busy with the left hand or anything, you can really work on getting that big pinch harmonic to pop when it comes in. So there you go, guys. There's my 6 tips and tricks, if you like, for pinch harmonics. If I've missed anything, let me know down in the comments. I love talking to you guys. I try to respond to absolutely everybody who comments, even if it is just a thank you for watching. And to reiterate that, I'm saying now, thank you all for watching this. Thank you all for supporting me. I absolutely love doing this. As always, shed ton more to come. So if you enjoyed this, please feel free to leave a like and a comment, and maybe even subscribe if you're new here. To everybody who's new, big welcome. Thank you for subscribing. I don't have enough subscribers yet to do community posts, which is a pain really, because there's this quiet time between my videos that I really hate. The best way to keep up to date with what I'm doing, come find me on Instagram. There's a link down below in the description, and that's where you'll find out like updates, what's coming next. And there's like, I do like polls and stuff asking what you guys want to see. And also let me know down in the comments what you want to see next. The Her Voice Resides video that I did, the tuition video, taking you through all the guitar parts and stuff, that actually did really well. If you want to see more like that, let me know. I spoke to someone the other day and we mentioned their Tears Don't Fall tuition video, where I'll cover absolutely every guitar part. If you want to see that, let me know down below. I'll gladly do it for you in the same format as Her Voice Resides, which is breaking everything down, each individual guitar, slow pace, and all the techniques within. So if you want to see that, let me know. So other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.